Hey guys. Hey everyone. I know I need to shave and I need to shower. I know. I know. But we're all here in this together. We are. And it's been a rough road. It's been a rough start. And that's why I need to get on here and talk to you guys. And I need to refuel and, understand, what is happening. Do you guys see this, by the way? So, like, it's not healing properly. And that's a personal battle that I'm dealing with, but, understand that when I get on, sometimes I do have a bit of pain. I'm sure you can see my ear, not the same color as my other ear. Guys, Starfield is why we're here and why we're all upset, because it wasn't what we expected. And then at the same time, we have all these people getting Starfield going, oh, it's great, it's amazing, it's running fantastic, and blah blah blah, and not expecting it to live up to what they said that it would. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of shortcomings with this game. There's a lot. And I feel like only half the people are talking about it, and the other half are just trying to not talk about it because they want views. And they want to sit there and be, that non-toxic streamer or whatever. And honestly, what it comes down to is when we get on this game, it's the sort of thing where you try to do this or this or this, and you are stopped by this or this being a, just not well planned out menu or not well planned out sequence of buttons to press, if that makes sense. The game is interesting and fun at times. I'm somebody that, I'm the sandbox player. I'm the guy that everybody's, wondering why I don't like it. Because I sit there and I play exploration games and just look around at the pretty colors and stuff like that. So why don't I like it? The answer comes down to exactly what you saw on the, resource monitor stream, where we're sitting there and, we're playing the game and it's just underperforming. Like we're sitting there and we're playing, and we're on a moon, and this moon is just 30 FPS instead of 40, and the whole, I don't know who said it originally. I know Cookie said it. I know he did, but I don't know who said it before him. So we're going to look this up and do our due diligence. We're going to do some research today. We're going to talk Starfield. And we're going to break it down, too. We're not just going to play the game. I want to know who said this. I want to know who said we're getting the unlocked FPS. Because that's all I could think about, and that's all I could talk about. And sure enough, the game comes out, and it's a lie. So whoever lied, you're looking real smart right now. Yeah, you're looking real fucking smart right now. So that's where I'm at with Starfield, guys. Like, just there's no unlocked FPS. There is no option in the menu for FPS. There's no NVIDIA settings. So DLSS not included. So yeah, if you have an AMD card, you're probably fine. You know, the game probably runs just fine for you, just like with Jedi Survivor, where there's literally no DLSS settings. So like, while the game and textures look proper, and it does a better job of doing it than Survivor did, it does not perform. 30 FPS most of the time we're playing. We had the resource monitor open. And then you saw us play in all these other games. I played Doom Eternal with a lot of the graphics and like ultra. And that game's getting near like what, like 80s, 90s FPS, something like that, right? Something like that. That's a tough game to run. Like, you can't just run that. There's all this shit going on. You're running around, you know, exploding stuff, and then all of a sudden, you know, the effects happen. So, like, you know, like, it's doing all this in Ultra, and then you just, like, blow something up and it splatters, and all the effects happen and shit like that. Guys. Nope. That's my point. Nope. When Doom Eternal is running really well, and all these other games are running really well, you know, high settings, nope. And that's why I brought the resource monitor open. I'm sure some people were talking and trying to say, you know, it was my machine or this or that or whatever and the other thing. But that's proof. It's not. My RAM isn't even struggling. My VRAM's not even struggling. My CPU's not even struggling. The only thing that's struggling is the GPU, and it's supposed to. Everybody knows that. You turn up settings, it's just 100%. That's what it does. Yeah. So newer games especially. Now, newer games should be optimized better so that it can fluctuate and go down to that. We talked about that, not 92, 95%. But they're not doing it. They're not taking the extra time. And a lot of that comes down to those DLSS settings. You know, the CPU has to be able to take the latency loop. And if it's not, DLSS isn't there to do its job, and you're burning out your card. Yeah, you're just burning out your card. So that's what it comes out to, is that, like, I feel like people don't understand that they're just going to burn out their cards. So here's the problem with these things. I just dropped the cap, and now I have to get under my seat to find it. Yeah, these fucking things are good, but when you drop the cap, there's no other way to open it. Yeah, like, they're so good. But now it's under my seat, and I have to find the little fucking thing that fell out and that launched across my car. Do you guys see this, by the way? Like, it's storming. We're about to get a storm. I thought I'd hang out with you guys for it. Yeah, a lot of times we just sort of chill. And, engine's on, turn that off. A lot of times we just sort of chill, and we play games, and we don't really, like, do anything together, you know, like, we don't, like, sit out and enjoy the weather and stuff as much as I'd like to. So I want to do that a little bit. Maybe we'll get some food and talk Starfield, and then we'll go back and play. There are some people on the channel recently that are out to hurt me. They're just there to hurt me. And they're not here because they're watching. They're not here because they like my content. They're here because they come in chat and they want to cause problems. And then they want a reaction. That's what that's a troll. So anybody recently that's been coming in chat and then you say something for a reaction, I'm just not going to react. And then if you then go in like you start going like a comment tirade, you're a fucking troll. You can't control your emotions and you take this out on people on the internet. You are a fucking troll. Now, I realize that there are times where I vent to certain YouTubers, but that's between me and that YouTuber. That's nothing to do with you. So do not come in my chat, say something for a response, and then go on some comment tirade because you didn't get the response that you wanted. Yeah, don't do that. You look like a child when you do stuff like that. And then this causes problems for the channel because other people see it and they wonder what happened. And literally nothing happened. This person was just being a troll, trying to get a response and didn't get it. I'm too nice. I don't block people. That's just it. He didn't even get blocked. So everybody thinks I just block everyone. He didn't get blocked. Somebody else didn't get blocked either that was being a douche. He just got put in a timeout. So this is it, guys. Like, you think I just block people, and really I don't. A lot of times I give you guys chances and call you out. And a lot of the time is like when I call somebody out, they act a certain way. So that's my point. If they're acting a certain way when I'm calling them out, and they're not even just being like, "Oh, you're right, my bad," then we can't move on, and it just remains the same. This is all of y'all doing this, and then you have multiple accounts. Why do you have multiple accounts? Oh, because you've caused problems for certain YouTubers on these accounts, so you make another one so people don't know who you are. I've seen it a million times. We have a lot of people, hanging out on the channel like that lately. I've seen it a lot on Cookie's channel too. Not that there's anything wrong with having alt accounts, but when you actively use these in chat, and then you cause a problem and start using the other one, and you're swapping back and forth between accounts, you're being weird. Yeah, why wouldn't you just use your main account? What's up with that? What's wrong with it? What? So, guys, they're getting reported, they're getting strikes, they're getting this and that for various things, and they're not using their accounts. And other people are recognizing them, calling them out, and they're afraid somebody's going to reach out to me and tell me, this or that. So, I give them chances because I recognize these things. And I think everybody has the ability to learn and do better. But when you're not doing the better, that's when I will remove you from the channel. I will give you every benefit of the doubt that you have learned your lesson and tried to do better by coming, to my channel and being respectful and stuff. But the moment that you don't do better, that's where I have to hit that timeout. I have to hit that ban, and I have to do something because you're not getting it. YouTube's not a place for people to come in and be trolls and act like fools. It's literally just a place for me to create my content. And if you want to come in, chat, and talk to other people and stuff like that, that's fine. You want to ask me a question once in a while, that's fine. But it's starting to get to the point where people are coming in chat regularly and expecting me to interact with them. And then when I don't, there's a certain type of reaction to that. That's a troll. That's a troll. You don't come in somebody's YouTube with an expectation that they're going to react to you. That doesn't make any sense. This is why content creators shouldn't just make it a habit of going into other content creators chat just all the time. You know what I mean? I get people that network with each other, but you don't see an admin go hanging out in people's chats, chatting up a storm. My point is that at some point, you have to realize what you're doing. You have to realize that you're creating an environment where people expect expect me to engage. And this is not what I'm here for. I'm here to make content, and I'm here to entertain you. If you don't like my content, then just don't watch it. And that's just it, is they'll come in and expect a certain type of reaction. And when I don't give it to them, they go to somebody else and expect that reaction too. And this person might either pander to it or might not, but they have maybe more of an active chat. So therefore, this person has an easier time getting what they want out of this person until they start being a troll on their channel, then they get blocked and move on. And they do this enough until they get enough bans or enough whatever that they get noticed and they have to create a new account. Like, it's not a rocket science just to figure out the patterns. I just see it all the time. And I've also had somebody that I blocked a while ago that was trying to mess with me that created an account, a second one, after I blocked him to try to, like, cause problems and stuff. I don't know who's beeping, but someone's beeping a lot. But anyway, I didn't want to like get all into the drama and stuff, but chat is not a place for you to expect me to interact with you. It's really not. And that's anybody that comes on my channel and expects an interaction and doesn't get it, you're an immature troll. You are an immature person in general. But you're definitely a troll. Because I don't know what the hell else you're doing on my channel. You're not there to watch the content and be entertained. Otherwise, you would just do that. You see what I mean, guys? Like, there's plenty of other people that just come in and watch. They don't engage. They get it. And then sometimes when things start to get a little bit better and chat starts acting normal again, they engage. And then you start to see these people again, the folks that actually use chat properly. That's what happens. So you should start to notice this by now, that there's a trend where people don't know how to use chat. Yeah. And just because they expect an engagement out of me, I think we're starting to rain. I think it's starting. I wanted to get like a good downpour going. Wouldn't that be cool? I love rain. Okay, so here's the deal. I gotta get food. Do you guys want to get food with me? Where should we get it? Should we go to Arby's? Let's talk about America a little bit, for those of you who don't live here. Yeah, we're going to talk Starfield, but I want to get food first because I'm hungry. We have a lot of folks on the channel that don't live in the United States. And they're very confused about how things work in this country. I can fill you in. It's not all the American dream that everyone wants you to believe that it is, and it's not what it used to be. I'm sure you've seen this in the decline of gaming, though, too. We've also been talking about that. So, Michael Does Life people have been trolling hardcore lately. I'd love to make a video with Cookie sometime, but I don't know where he is, what's going on with him. I think he's got something going on. So we're going to have to, just do that when we do that. But like I said, I wanted to make some podcasts and do some stuff. So whether or not he wants to do it or not, I'm going to talk about Michael Does Life because I think he's damaging. And I don't think he's damaging for the reasons that you guys claim that he is. I think he's damaging because he doesn't actually review anything. There's no review process. It's just him sitting there yelling about a game. This bitch just, saying it's trash. So like you guys saw me the first day on Starfield, I was not having fun. It was kind of crap. And then the funny thing is, the 22-hour stream that YouTube took down, now they took that down because you can't, I guess there's some threshold now, but they won't tell you what it is, you know? And I think it's different for everyone depending on your settings. So, like, that's just it. They won't tell you what it is, but they'll take your stream down. Anyway, I digress. We're at Arby's. I'm gonna get some food. What was I gonna say? Where's I go with that? Oh yeah, the second day on Starfield, the 22-hour stream, that was good. Yeah, I was having a good time, and the trolls hated it. So they came in that 22-hour stream. They were like hardcore, like in chat. They said sexual things. They threatened me. Yeah, this happens a lot. I really don't, doesn't bother me. You can't threaten me. Like, it's literally just a threat. I don't care. Yeah, like, that's just it. That's what bothers them. The fact that I don't care. So, like, that, like, it literally means nothing to me. I just don't like evil people. Does that make sense? Somebody that's willing to threaten somebody, in my opinion, in my heart, feels evil. So, like, I just, that's why it feels evil, and I don't like that. So that's why I always sort of get a certain way about that stuff. But, like, it really doesn't bother me. It's more about, like, protecting and stuff like that. With the Michael Does Life channel, I really just think that it's really damaging to the gaming community, because you have tons and tons of younger people going to this channel looking to him as like a content creator or something like that. And really all they're learning how to do is shit on everything. They don't learn how to like things. They learn how to hate things. And I see a pattern of behavior in young people where they're just learning how to hate everything, not liking things. It's not as simple as you guys think it is, and it's more serious than you think. It's on the psychological level. We're sitting here playing a game and having fun hating it. That's bad. Do you guys not realize this is how villains are created? Like, literally, this is how evil people are born. They sit there, do something that everybody else enjoys. You know what I mean? Like, that's how evil is born. And then they just pretend to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, everybody likes it, but then at the same time, they're just sitting there shitting all over it. Not good. That's an evil person that does that. Because they're not deducing anything. They're not giving it a chance. They have it in their mind initially when they go into it that they're just going to troll this game hardcore. And then everybody else sees them doing this and doesn't understand. They just do it too. They just think it's funny initially. Like, oh, haha. You know, and a lot of times to them, they're younger, so they don't get it. They haven't been around long enough. Games are new to them. So they're sort of kind of getting into this. The world is new to them. They really don't understand how this stuff works. And so they're just being convinced that it's funny, popular, and the new trend and cool to shit on everything and to troll everything because this guy does it and he gets away with it and he's popular or this or that. So I just saw my friend walk past me and not acknowledge me. So yeah, anyway, I think he's very damaging and literally just doesn't give a shit about anything he's playing. I think he's very damaging. Because that's the point. He doesn't actually care about the games he's playing. We play Starfield and we want it to be good, right? Yeah, like we want to play it. Legitimately. We just want it to be good. We love this concept. We love Bethesda. You know, we optimistically were hoping it was unlocked FPS. But then we play it, and it's just 30 the whole time. that's a disappointment. So then I sort of become frustrated at the fact that I got excited for this game and then was disappointed again. And it's not a pattern of it's not a good pattern of behavior to get into the habit of when something comes out to just be like, well, we're just going to troll that anyway, we're going to dislike it anyway. No, you should be optimistic about it. See, listen to actually what they're saying about it. And a lot of times I see him just giving completely inaccurate information. He just lies. He'll say it's going to be this or that based on something somebody said or something like that, and he's just lying. Half the time he plays a game for a few minutes and then says it's trash and then quits it. But then at the same time, he'll upload 50 some odd streams of him playing Resident Evil 4 remake and claim it's terrible, but then he has 50 some odd streams of him playing Resident Evil 4 remake. Well, he makes money off of it. Yeah, he makes money off, so he likes this game and not admitting to it. You see what I mean, guys? Like, he actually, it's almost as if he's lying to himself, And we have to stop these patterns of behavior before they take control of us. I find myself, in the same situation where I have to look at what I'm doing and just be like, all right, stop. Try to play the game. Just do the next thing. Try to figure something out to make the next thing work. Try to play the game. So I do. And then, the next thing breaks. And it's just disappointing again. I don't know what else to say. Except that, that is the biggest, in my opinion, thing that's affecting this. Is that everybody just goes straight to the whale streamers for actual opinions. Do you know who the whales are watching? You got it. You guys are getting where I'm starting to come from, right? They watch us. Yeah, now they don't talk about it because it's not good for them, but they do. They watch us. They watch the lower YouTubers. And get opinions and, oh, okay, so I won't do that. Got it. Things like that. They learn from us and make sure that they do the right thing. Whale streamers are very practiced. It's a very practiced show. I mean, if that's what you guys want to watch, I will do that for you. A lot of times with my stream, I like to be very upfront, very honest, very, just this is what you see is what you get. And I used to do a very prepared thing for you, but that was causing a lot more stress for me to have that ready. I'd get started later, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, because of this and this isn't just right. Now I've just been sort of getting on and giving you guys the gist of what's going on. And, basically the pattern is that people prefer a more collective, informed looking thought. That's all it is. It has to look more informed and collective. So these whales, they have the money, the resources, they collect their thoughts, they put it together for you, and it always looks proper and exactly right because they have the resources to do that. They're just watching all of us putting it together and putting it in front of you. And then nobody's supporting, giving shout outs and stuff like that. Well, some people do, but it's hit or miss. Because sometimes they don't really want to give shout outs to certain people. They might look bad, lose subscribers, things like that. So there's a whole culture that exists that, basically the whales can't even talk about, where they want to give people shout outs, but if they do, groups of people will just leave their channel. And so when we've gotten to this point on a cultural scale, where online where online gaming has gotten to the point where everybody just is literally out as a competition, earlier, I wanted to do something, and I could have gotten on and asked you guys how to do it and asked somebody how to do it. But the moment that I do that, somebody steals my idea because I don't know how to do it. So I'm getting on and asking and stuff like that. But if I do that, somebody's going to use that idea and be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me steal that from him, instead of actually helping me. And some people will actually try to tell you to do it wrong. So this is oftentimes why I don't get on stream and ask how to do something. This is one of the dumbest things you can do. I've seen some streamers do this recently, and it's really dumb. Don't do that. You are asking for trolls to show you how to do something wrong. So when trolls pretty much control all of chat throughout all of content creation, there's a problem. And that's just it. I don't let them on my channel, so therefore there's like this real huge disconnect where almost nobody's in my chat, you know, and then when they do come in my chat, they have some sort of weird thing to say, you know, like something like that, some weird problem happened or something like that. They're a troll, and they don't like the fact that I don't want that in my channel, and they have no idea how I could possibly just not accept the fact that I don't want views from people that are trolls. I literally don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I don't want your view. I don't want your like. I don't want you on my channel. Get off. I literally don't care. You are an evil person if all you do is troll. That you're evil. You think like that. You think in ways of manipulation. This is what you do. So, that's all I have to say about all that troll business. It basically, you know, content creation has become sort of a joke. Yeah, sort of a joke. And, you know, I haven't had my second screen for a while. I have 2 monitors. Literally right when I started networking with Cookie. All these people started joining my channel. Like right then. I had my monitor for like 5 years. And then right then, it actually was older than that. No, my current one's like 5 years. That one was like 7 or 8 years I had that one. That one lasted a long time. And conveniently, it just breaks right when all these people, you know. So that's... It's literally like a just inconvenient. It's because you use 365. Yeah, I know. You hacked my monitor. Yeah, you sent some signal. You're part of it. Yeah, a lot of people are part of it. But that's just it. Is like, you get what I'm saying though. Like, I can't have chat. It's so hard to see chat. And if you use your phone while you're streaming, that's a great way for someone to ping your IP while you're streaming. And it's also a great way to get hacked too. So like when I'm streaming, sometimes like I'm trying to turn it off and not necessarily leave it on for so long. This is why YouTube, I think, doesn't want you streaming for X amount of time. 365, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like literally, I think that's a lot of the issues I was dealing with Hearthstone too, and that's why people like scammers like Hearthstone and stuff, because people play on their phone. You're a text idiot. Yeah, so it's just an IP ping, because it's through the air instead of a wire. That's why. So like if I'm using my phone and sitting there on stream and I also have my stream up and somebody comes in chat asking me how I'm using chat, you know what I mean? That's where I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, because you're actually asking me how I'm using chat. Like, it's real suspicious, you know what I mean? Like, why would somebody just come in and ask me that? Like, it's really random. So, like, flat out, somebody who's come in before already trying to ping my IP because they see me using my phone. You know, the people that come on and, you know, want me to do these streams in my car, they love that. Yeah, they love that. And so like that's just it. I haven't been able to have a second screen with my chat for that whole time. And for the longest time I could just look over and just right there it is. My stream software, Firefox, just everything on my second screen. I could just play my game and look over and just see it all. I could watch myself play. Yeah. And now without a second screen, I can't do any of that. And it's been rough. Well, everybody knows. Everybody knows that. Well, you know. Yeah, you know. And everybody else does. But yes. Yeah, and it's a good point to bring it up, for sure. I mean, that is a good point. Yeah, a lot of people should probably switch to wired. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a good point, 365. I mean, seriously, it's well, that's what it is. My Xbox has a wired connection now too. I literally just don't even do it. I don't do it at all anymore. I plug in a wire from my PlayStation, I plug in a wire from my Xbox, I plug in a wire from my PC, because otherwise, if it's going through the air, I mean, that's a lot easier. It's all about data corruption. It's all about flooding it with data. So Starfield, that second to third day on that second stream, somebody corrupted my cloud save data successfully. Because I installed Starfield, I reinstalled it on PC. And if you guys saw my post, I know nobody liked it, but if you saw my post about it having serious cloud save issues, that's why. That's why I was having a lot of those issues. Literally, my cloud save was corrupted by these people that just like to mess with me. And so the moment that I uninstalled it and reinstalled it, it did fix that. But that's why I posted that picture, because like Xbox was taking several minutes to do a cloud sync. I mean, come on, it's a Series X. It should be like just instant, with solid state these days. So like several minutes. That's why I took my phone out and took a picture. I was like, okay, like several minutes. There's corrupted data here. It's trying to patch or fix or something and get a hold of. You pay for expensive internet and it messes up. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's issue. I would highly recommend Comcast if you can. Xfinity, I'd highly recommend that. The funny thing is, a lot of the issues I was having years ago, I was right. I was trusting somebody else's opinion, but it turns out I was right the whole time. I got a new router, a new modem, fixed everything. Yeah. So it's like, it was just there was somebody I lived with, they wanted this particular thing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like a convincing sort of thing. And it's like, sure enough, I just finally just did it one day. I said, no, I'm just going to do it. And you're not going to have any say in the matter. I'm just going to replace it. And that's exactly what I did. I replaced it and it fixed literally all of my internet problems. So like every time I just take matters into my own hands, I fix things. Yeah. Wire, dude. Wire. Always wire. Wi-Fi. So you have your controller that's Bluetooth. Your phone is transmitting Bluetooth. Okay, 365, thanks. Your smart TV is transmitting a Wi-Fi signal. Everybody in your house, in your apartment building, has a Wi-Fi signal. Everybody with a PlayStation and Xbox controller has a Bluetooth signal going like this. Everybody in their car has a Bluetooth signal from their phone to their car stereo. Everybody in their car has some sort of hotspot, Wi-Fi hot point now that's following them around so that they can literally just connect as they drive and have infinite wireless. Do you have any concept for how much of your data is flying around the air right now? You probably don't. Don't ever, ever stream with Wi-Fi. And don't ever just think that it's okay to just get on the internet and stream with Wi-Fi. It is a great way to get scammers in other countries to corrupt your data, to try to scam you, to get information from you. They're literally just trying to find a mistake in the data, somewhere. They're just trying to obtain data. And all it takes is just a real simple thing like an email, just something with a little bit of data attached to it, and suddenly they have what they need to scam you. Do you ever heard of like a gas pump scam or something like that? So, you go to a gas pump, you pump some gas, and then sure enough, like 2 hours later, your bank account's empty, and you're like, what the? And you're canceling it. You're going to the bank. You're freaking out. And yeah, it's a gas pump scam. Everybody's aware of it, and they're trying to like figure it out and stuff like that. Basically, that's the sort of thing where like the last gas pump you went to, you didn't check it. There was a little device on there that they slipped onto the thing, and when you swiped your card, you didn't check it. So that's why a lot of these places now will have like the little thing where you hold your card up and they read it wirelessly so that you're not swiping your card through anything. That's why. It's better for security. And a lot of times with those, you need a PIN too. They read credit. So that's what it is it can read credit and have time to pen. They don't like that. They want you to use your PIN. The scammers, I mean, the people that are trying to get your info, they want you to use your PIN. If you do it as like that credit thing, it sits there pending and the bank can actually look at it, and that takes longer and stuff like that. So there's all kinds of wireless information and scams all the time, going all over the place. So when you're getting on the internet and you're streaming and you're playing games and everybody in all these other countries can see you, you live in the United States. Now our internet's very encrypted here. It's very, very hard to get into our network. It is closed off. And that's why you can't go to like if you wanted to go to like China's YouTube, you couldn't do that, for example. You used to be able to do stuff like that. You used to be able to just like log into not anymore. You can't do it anymore. It's very hard to do it now. And that the reason for that is because we're cut off from the rest of the world. There's so many hackers out there trying to get your information to just scam you from somewhere in the world, because that's the point. They don't have to answer to our law enforcement. Does that make sense? Now, we have resources, and there are people on other channels, like I've always talked about, Scammer Payback, Pierogi, and all those guys. Amazing people, great content. They're seriously doing some good work, but that's just it. Is like a lot of the time there's not much they can do, because that's what it comes down to. Is these people are in other countries and they're just trying to cause a problem so that way they can steal money from you, and a lot of times it's not even that much. Yeah, like that's what people don't get, and that's why I wanted to go into a little bit more about this country, because I think people have a misconstrued view of America and Americans. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about this country, and just how people are in general. Let's get food, and then talk a little bit more. It's always interesting to me when I see a police officer who can't park in a parking space. That's always interesting to me. Yeah, so like these police, they park in like the front space. Look at this. This unmarked cop car. You guys can't even see it. I'm just trying to show you. He's parking a space and he's like using 2 spaces. And it's like the front space. So he's a cop so he can get away with it. Like, what the fuck, man? That's like just straighten your car out. Like, I've noticed a definitive decline in people. Not games, people.
How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get a beef and cheddar, please? Just a sandwich.
You said a beef and cheddar, just a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, comes at 6:14.
A beef and cheddar costs $6 and some change. A beef and cheddar. I'm gonna turn this away so they don't.
614. Thank you. $13.86. Any extra sauce for you today?
No thanks.
All right.
Just wait.
Alrighty, here you go. Enjoy having the rest of your night.
You too. She was a very, very attentive, nice employee. Very good. Well done. See, that's just it. Like, why can't everybody be like that? Just do your job. Be nice to people. Don't be like this cop that gets off work and parks in 2 spaces because he, you know. I just don't even. I don't have any words for that. Okay. Okay. Well done, Arby's. Well done. Well done. That's good. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen. Arby's doing it right. Beef and cheddar. Highly recommend. Alright. Let's put cash back in the cash. Yeah, let's put the cash back in the cash, yeah. Let's put the cash money back in the wallet. The cash money back in the wallet. So Starfield. Let's talk Starfield finally instead of talking trolls. Michael Does Life. 365, thank you for coming by, man. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming by, man. I hope that your hair appointments go well. I know you said you're doing some hair. I need my hair done. Can you dye it for me, please? I'm being serious, actually. I need my hair done. So anyway, let's talk Starfield because I want to talk about this. So I want to play the game, but this is. Oh wait, we got an off subject. All right, Tyler. Nice. That's your favorite band. You told me that's your favorite band. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I said, I loved the song that he did with Nina Strauss. It was really good. It sounded good. But anyway, let's talk Starfield because I really want to play this game. I do. But every time I do, something new happens. And it's not just one thing, it's many. It's many. And we're not just talking about the FPS. We're not just talking about that. We're talking about all the quests marker glitches. We're talking about the fact that it doesn't seem like you can really do anything extra with the game until you do this, and this. That's kind of how it seems. Like you should just rush through the story so that you can do this, and this. I'm really glad everyone loves it on console. It is running fine on console, and that was what I always said. I promised you guys that, actually. I even said that it would run fine on console. But I'm not a console player when I stream. So, like, for me to stream that, I don't want to do all that. Yeah, I started hooking up the Xbox, the Series X, to the computer the other day, and I just started to thinking, and I was just like, I don't really want to do this. Yeah, I don't really want to stream from my console. It's just not what I want to do. I want to promote PC gaming, continue that. I like PC games, and I want to be able to talk about stuff, you know. And switch easily. I'm looking at the police officer who couldn't park in one space. I'm staring him down. We'll see if he arrests me for staring him down. I'm just very confused as to why, you know, you can be, well, it's not that big a deal, but like, think about it like this. They have to make, you know, calculated decisions. It's split-second calculated decisions. And I always have been somebody that, you know, you should have a high IQ if you're going to do a job like that. Because that's what IQ is. And just to see somebody, you know, treat their police vehicle like that. That's how I feel. I feel like you don't have a general respect for the property that it's not yours, it's the state's. You know, you just don't have a respect for that property if you're just parking it in two spaces. I mean, it's also illegal, and he's a police officer. So, I mean, if I were a cop, I would have just cited him just now. But, like, that's my point. Like, I see it all the time. Yeah, I mean, I saw a cop wearing his badge and his uniform pulling out of Walmart, and we have a you can't, so like we don't have a hands-free law here, but you can't like be looking at it and texting and stuff. And he was flat out, I'm not even joking you, like this is what I see, guys, is like I see these things. I just see it. I don't even know how. I just see everything. But like he's just driving by in his car, and I'm just like looking as he's driving by, and no lie, no hands on the wheel. I saw a badge, like he was wearing full uniform, but he was in his own car, and he was vaping and texting. Cop. I'm very disappointed in people. That's a person choosing to wear his uniform and act like that. Like you couldn't get home and text. You couldn't get home and vape. You had to drive through a crowded parking lot with no hands. Well, it's no wonder that nobody pulls anybody over for swerving around behind me when I go the speed limit, because it's the police doing it. Yeah, like it's just them. They're the private citizens doing it. So that's why they're not pulling everybody over. They want to do it. Yeah, they want to be able to make people drive faster when they're on their days off and they're angry that they didn't leave their house earlier. This is what I deal with. Like, I deal with everyone else's, like, anxiety and anger, like, as I drive around. And I'm just, like, sitting here trying to drive the speed limit. Mind my own business. Earlier, before I got on stream, not even joking you, it's the same pattern I always see. Way back here, the road comes down to one lane from two. And everybody, the second lane on the right is a turning lane. So instead of just getting over when they should, they continue to remain in this lane and try to floor it past everyone through a traffic light where there is only one lane. And the right lane is a turning lane. So they're supposed to be turning right, yet they just, every day I see this pattern of behavior and police do nothing. And yet every day I drive the same stretch of road and see the same people doing the same things, and yet police do fucking nothing. Do you guys not understand how stupid this is? Like, the fact that I could literally sit here and look at traffic cameras and give people tickets? Wow. So basically, policing is nonsense these days. Yeah, they don't do anything. Yeah, they don't do anything. They sit around and watch people. That's what they do. So, police are just people like you. And like that's where I'd like to go with this. Basically, this country was built on the backs of soldiers. That's right, I went there. Fucking soldiers. We're talking about warriors. We're talking about real people. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Our country was built by the people that actually stood up for something. Put something in their hand and said, this is right, believe me, or you're dead. That's right, I fucking said it. Because that's what needs to happen. I am sick and tired of seeing 3 fucking Arby's employees on their breaks smoking cigarettes in front of the cars, jerking off with their phones in their hands. Basically, this is the decay of society. People just give themselves cancer, sit on their phones, and decay. Oh God, what am I gonna do when I fucking go home? Blah, blah, blah. Jeez, let me look at my phone and endlessly scroll through shit. Let me text this person. Do you ever just go on your break? Take a breath of fresh air and just look around? Nope. Nobody does it. I digress. It really showed me a lot about society and culture and people as a general whole. When I spent a couple of days in the woods walking around, filming stuff, I felt different. Does that make sense? I came back to society. It's the sort of thing where if I were backpacking and I were a woodsman, I always used to be, but I started getting more, games and stuff like that because a lot of the people around me were like that. A lot of my friends were like that. So I just started getting into that. But if I were a woods guy, like, it's the sort of thing where I wouldn't even want to be in this country. Yeah, like everybody that's leaving, they're the people that literally can recognize the problems because they have a clear head. They're actually going out and looking at nature and clearing their head and doing therapeutic things. All y'all just sit there and get anxious, staring at your phone all day, swiping, waiting for the next thing to yell about on the internet. This is the problem. This is America. And everybody in other countries knows this. India knows this. There's countries in Africa that know this. Like, there's a lot of countries where there's scammers that know this. And this is what they do. They can, I'm not even joking you, like, it's this bad. All they have to do is like, I'm sure somebody got scammed in America at some point. Like so many people I know have gotten scammed. Now, like gas pump scam, this scam, your bank account's gone, you just, you get a new one, you change things and you move on. You try to. But when there's all these other people and they have your information, all they're going to say is one little piece to leak this time and they have the rest of it and it's that much easier. So this is the viewpoint they have. And I'm going to tell you guys this, because this is really important. You need to remember this. Image is everything. You can't think you are alone. You can't think that. It's not the case anymore. You are not alone. You're just not. I'm just letting you guys know you're not alone. It's Skynet. It is the future. If your information has been leaked, these scammers, all they have to do is turn on a webcam. Yeah, they have that ability. So that's what they're doing. When they ping your IP and stuff like that, a lot of times, they'll get that info, and then unless you reset your router, now a lot of times your internet resets because of that. It detects a data corruption, and that's why it resets. Because you have so much corrupted data being spread to the other parts of the world, it's just trying to refresh your IP. So a lot of you need VPNs. A lot of you. But what I will say, just that it is, a lot of these, really all they're trying to do is turn on that camera, that extra camera that you have, like from your phone when you're streaming or whatever it is. And if they turn that on, a lot of you can't appreciate that they can hear you too. A lot of you don't realize that. They can hear everything you're saying. Police can do this too. Here's the part that gets criminal. Police have been doing this for a while privately, and I really don't care talking about this. They can, it's almost like, it's kind of funny. It's almost like the moment I start talking about this, I see more of them on my routes trying to sit places to pull me over. I drive the speed limit. That's it. So it's like, it flat out, I'm not even joking you, I see them trying. Detectives do this. So basically, any detective that's a police officer now with cybersecurity knowledge, he can literally just ping your IP, hack your webcam, and listen to your entire conversation and claim that he didn't. He can do it on his own time. You just sit there off on his own time and do it and claim that he didn't. And then find some other reason for looking into you. He has to create a reason now because it's unconstitutional. The Constitution of the United States does not support somebody spying on you. You can just spy on people. It's illegal. You are a free citizen. You are not a slave to the government. So police getting away with this, I'm gonna sue you. Yeah, like, I'll literally just sue you. And then I'm gonna call the FBI and let them know that detectives that work for the state police are using illegal means to spy on people. It's true. They are doing it. All I was to say, and your information gets leaked because of it. Yep, they spy on you, and the scammers scam them and get your information. Isn't that fucked up? Scammers can literally look at police computers if they want to. Because this is how ignorant police are to these things, to cybersecurity, to IP addresses, to things like this. And yet the detectives that make all the money and wear all the suits and do this shit in their private time, they're the ones making out well. Because they're sitting there just creating, they could literally just be criminals and nobody would know. And internal affairs in this country is a fucking joke. This is what internal affairs looks like. Oh, a police officer did something wrong? Oh shit. Well, let's cover that up real fucking quick. That's what internal affairs looks like. Yeah, they just don't want you to know about it. They create paperwork after paperwork to just cover it up. That's what internal affairs looks like. I just saw that reminds me of a story. When my best friend was driving on a road that night, 2 lanes are going, one car goes past us driving the same road, coming our way on the left. Jeez. We're on that road, we probably would have been in a terrible accident. Yeah, that's my point, is like, instead of policing, a lot of the police in this country literally are just the same as everyone else. They literally just want to get paid to do their job, not to do their job. They want to wear a badge and sit in their car, but then they don't want to actually do it. And it's like, you know what? The amount of times I would have done something that they don't want to do, yet I didn't become a police officer because I don't want to get shot at. And I've accepted the fact that that's what you should itemize that in your head before being a police officer. You should think, I don't want to be shot at, and I probably won't make the right decision if I am. You should itemize that in your head. And if you think even there's the slightest bit of doubt, you shouldn't be a police officer. You just shouldn't. So that's my point. There's a lot of these guys that are doing this job that are literally just assholes that are out to get you. That literally just want to sit there on the side of the road and pull you over because they have a fucking badge. That's what America is these days. Because I'll tell you one thing, I drive down the same fucking roads every day. I don't even drive very much anymore. I don't want to. But I drive the same roads every day. And I drive the fucking speed limit. And every single day, somebody comes up behind me and starts looking they swerve to the side and they're like looking around, like pressuring me to drive faster. People in this country literally just want you out of their way so that they can drive as fast as they can to their destination. That's what driving around in the United States looks like these days, at least on the East Coast. I have heard the West Coast, like California, is totally fucking different from the rest of the country. That's what I've heard. And I've heard it's better. Yeah, I've heard that basically if I lived out there, a lot of the problems I have probably wouldn't exist. Yeah. So like state governments and things like that need to pay attention and need to do things, because that's the problem, is that state governments, that's a lot of what people don't understand. You guys do know that state government overrides federal government, right? That's how that's literally how the Constitution is written. That's how our government works. That's how the United States works. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think that it's the other way around. It's actually not. The state has more power than the feds do. So your state needs to pay attention, and a lot of the states need to be on the same page. And let me get to the point behind all of this. Yeah, and I've dealt with that too. Let me get to the point behind all of this. It's not easy to talk about. It's really not. Yeah, I've had friends that were killed in car accidents. And it's not easy to talk about. I'm sort of haunted. And I'll tell you guys why. It's not easy to talk about, it really isn't. A friend of mine that, you know, like I really wanted to reconnect with him and I didn't get a chance to. Friend of mine, you know, basically back in high school died on my birthday. So basically I have never ever been allowed to celebrate a birthday since I was, you know, 19. Because if I celebrate a birthday, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, every single birthday that I've ever had, it's right there. And, you know, I feel a certain way. Yeah, I can't be happy. How could I? How am I supposed to feel good about being born when somebody else was killed on my birthday? Somebody I knew. And this happened because a drunk driver went across the highway and hit them head on. And he was in the back seat. So I could give details, but I won't. It's the sort of thing where it was super serious. I think one person made it out critical. So when I see people flying around all over the place, and I see police doing nothing, and I you know, every day I'm complaining about it on the internet. They know where I live, they know my name, and they can watch this. And it just seems like nothing happens. You know, it's like, I want to know that they're actually doing it. Yeah, I don't see them doing it. Yeah, it's like the last time I actually saw somebody pulled over, I can't even remember. I truthfully can't. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody pulled over. Does that register with you guys? I'm trying to think of the last time I saw somebody actually pulled over and stopped by a cop. It's been a while. I've seen police already pulled over to, like, accidents. I haven't actually seen police pull somebody over in a long time. The roads around here are terrible. I drove down this road on my last car at the speed limit, and it destroyed my exhaust. Yeah, because it was bouncing up and down too much. It destroyed my exhaust. I drive the speed limit every fucking day, and this triggers people. Driving the speed limit triggers people, especially, do you see the giant truck that just parked next to me? Especially people that drive things like that. Basically, they can see around you. They can see there's nobody in front of you. And because they have a giant truck, they are easily able to intimidate you and pressure you to drive faster. It's every day, and it's almost every single person that drives one of these things. They should just be outlawed in Pennsylvania. Seriously, at this point, too many people are using them to intimidate. Why does this guy have this truck? I would love to know why he has it. Aside from the fact that he could refinance and his credit rates went down. Aside from that, I would love to know why he actually has the truck. Because what I saw when I got out of the truck was an old man that could barely stand. So that's what I'm getting at, guys. People are buying these gigantic vehicles for no reason. They spend money for no reason. America is full of people that literally just want to look cool. They want something cool. They want to look cool. It's literally just filled with people that don't know how to not stop consuming. And no, not everybody's rich. And that's the misconstrued view these scammers have. These scammers think that we're all rich. They really think that. They think, oh, well, you can just get a job, blah, blah, blah. It's not really how it works. Yeah, it's not really how it works. Like, that's the disconnect. They're actually that ignorant. They think that's how it works. And they think that we don't have, problems of our own, that it's not difficult or anything like that. Growing up in America is like, it's like being promised everything. But then when you grow up, you realize that it was a lie. Yeah, like that's what growing up in America feels like. Being promised everything, and then when you grow up, you realize it's completely a lie. You're gonna buy a house. You're gonna own your own house. You're gonna live and buy property and have all these cars. You're gonna have a big family and blah 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 blah. Well, in reality, when you get married, things get more expensive. It's not easier anymore. Used to be that way. It's not the case anymore. Things get more expensive. In reality, property rates are ridiculous. When I was a kid, you could buy a house for $100,000. Yep, just $100,000. You own the property, you own the house, maybe 150, if that. Now, are you freaking kidding me? Now, 150? You're lucky if you get a shack. Yeah, 150. Yeah, that's like an that's like a cheap fucking apartment. That's like you bought into an apartment. It's cheap. This country, you can't live here. Yeah, cost of living is garbage. Yeah, like it's bad. At this point, this country is done. We're done. Unless we do something. Yeah, the next person you vote for should start talking about the fact that Walmart increases its prices when minimum wage goes up. Yeah, the next person you vote for should talk about these things. Should talk about the fact that literally every fucking local market starts raising their prices when Walmart does. And when the federal minimum wage was forced to go up, Walmart admitted, the manager in the I walked in there and complained about all these prices and stuff. My receipt was it was really expensive. And then I went back in and complained. I was like, what the heck is this? Did you change the prices on like everything? And he actually said, yeah. He was like, yes. He said 60 to 70% of our inventory literally went up in price. Soda. Food. Wow. Yet if you get government assistance, this stuff's cheap. What? So you don't think that there's a problem here? Like maybe the government should fucking stop? Yeah, like when I'm in line at Wise and I literally have a drink that I want to pay for and I'm waiting in line and I have like $2. I don't want to use a card. I just want to use my $2. But yet every fucking register is for a debit or credit card. And I gotta wait in line because I'm paying cash. This is a problem. And everybody in line in front of me is literally just trying to use their stupid fucking food stamp thing and it's not working. Yeah, they don't actually have the money. They're sitting there trying to use food stamps and it's not working. And they're trying to get it to work. Lazy. This is the point. I have literally never done this. Ever. Ever, ever, never, ever, ever. That's my point, guys. This is why I always talk to you guys about, like, not going to Twitch and stuff. I don't accept help. I never have. I've always been that person where it's like, that's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I said to you guys, like, I have this medical thing. That's why I'm doing this. I want to work for it. I don't want Twitch to just be like, here you go, here's a bunch of people. I want to work for it. I want to know that what I have developed is something I worked hard for. I want to feel that. What the fuck is wrong with the entire goddamn country that everybody around me literally just wants to sit on their ass, make zero money, then show up at the fucking grocery store with your fucking food stamp card and just go, I guess the government's going to give me all this money so I can buy food. No. Decay. Lazy. You are the lazy decay of this country. Fix it. Do something. Like, it's just so frustrating. And like, I have these legitimate, actual, chronic pain issues. Actual issues. And I've actually held jobs for like a decade with these issues. And people want to complain about, oh, my knee hurts? The fuck out of here. Go get a damn job. This country is full of people that want to make excuses for everything. Yeah, I mean, like, you tell somebody that in Britain, they'll be like, fuck you, I'll take your job then. Yeah, like, it's just different. No, I don't live there, and so I don't technically know, but I just know it. Just connecting with the people that are there, talking, like, it's just different. Like, it's the sort of thing where we have come so far from what we should have been. This country is just broken in so many ways. And no, it's not Joe Biden's fault. And it's not just Trump's fault. It's you for saying that. Because you're the citizen. You're electing that dude. You're electing the other dudes. You're also not contributing to the fact that we have a broken voting system. Yeah, you're contributing to that by voting, by the way. If literally everyone just didn't vote, it would go away. Yeah, like if everyone didn't vote, you don't think that okay, all right, we better do something about this. Yeah. Suddenly our representatives wouldn't be our representatives anymore. Yeah. If everybody rose up and actually freaking knew how to picket and protest something, we'd get things done. The problem is Americans are too emotional. They want to destroy things and they want to protest things and just be seen being emotional and destructive. That's so stupid. The point of a protest is to let it happen long enough that it affects the person that needs it. Does that make sense? It has to affect the person that needs it. And just like the writer's strike. Eventually, that's going to work. Yeah, I'm really pissed because I can't watch The Boys. You guys know The Boys has a new season? It's been ready to be released for the past 3 months, I think. No season because there's a writer's strike. All our Marvel movies got postponed like 2 years because of a writer's strike. This is how you actually get things done. Yeah, you prove something to the people with the money. Prove to them that you care. That's just it. And see, that's my problem too. Like, I give too much and I care too much. If I had money, I'd probably give it away because I care too much. I'd probably go on some streamer's channel and just be like, here you go. Make it big. That's just me. But, like, Americans are really fucking stupid with money. Yeah, they're really fucking stupid with money. And that's a lot of it. I see people going into convenience. Like that's my point, guys. $6.50 for this. And it's a greasy ass fucking, like, yeah, I'm gonna eat it. But I mean, for that, that was $3.50 like 5 years ago. 6, 7 years ago, something like that. It's bad. Sorry, I'm chewing. It's really chewy. So, with all that being said, I've got it out. I digress. You know, it's the sort of thing where sometimes I need to vent a little bit and get on here and talk about the issues and tell you guys, you know, what's been bugging me. I want you guys... I want you guys to realize, you know, just how human I am at times. I realize I get always on my channel, and, you know, I'm always in front of my setup a certain way. And I'm just as human as the rest of you. I'm not claiming to be perfect. I make mistakes too, and I learn too, and, you know, we're gonna learn together, but if we don't call each other out and we don't do better as a society, who are we? What are we doing? And why is it so common for people to hate everyone from a state? I know why, but I want to hear what everyone else thinks. Yeah, like that's what it is. A lot of people will pick a state and be like, I don't like that state. You know, there's just a people from it. I know the real reason. I wonder if the young people do. Because there is a reason. It's just that the thing is that, like, we have all of these people all the time that feel this way. And I just feel like a lot of people don't know why. The real reason. Do you know the real reason? It's voting. Yeah. I mean, you probably guessed it. It's sad. It's really fucking sad that we all can't vote for a different candidate and then at the same time still love each other at the end of the day. And still treat each other like Americans and citizens that just have different opinions on how to do things. I'm not talking about Trump either. I don't get into politics, but I'm not talking about Trump. He was different. It's totally different. I'm talking about a real politician. I'm not talking about a circus clown. I'm talking about a real politician. Somebody that actually went to school for it or spent time in the field or something. I'm talking not somebody that just wants to sell a book and that's why he ran for president or whatever. Yeah, I'm talking about actual real politicians. That's just the thing, is everyone has an excuse of why they voted this way or that way. Oh, he was the guy that wasn't the politician. Well, that's an excuse. It's also not a real valid reason to vote for somebody. Yeah, that's a complete no answer. It's just an excuse. So basically, most people don't know how our government works. They really don't. And they wanted to vote for this guy because he was the one insulting all the politicians. He was funny. People just latched onto it. He was Michael Does Life, basically. He was that sort of a charisma. And, people like me, I'll see right through it because to me, he just looks like a fucking circus clown. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious, I see through bullshit. So, I just saw right through it. But a lot of people didn't just because they flat out just thought he was funny and wanted to vote for him because they didn't want to vote for the other guy. And literally, that's the reason. It's the excuse that they give and stuff like that. And then all while not acting like, this guy could actually do some real damage to a country if he's president. And he's just treating it like a joke. Sort of like he did to all of you when he was just giving speeches, talking nasty about everyone. It's do you really want that guy? So basically the entire country just showed us that they like a circus clown. That they like somebody that insults people and acts nasty to them and stuff. And that's the way the rest of the world starts to look at us. And that's what brings us to now, to this whole loop circle. The whole rest of the world looks at us like we're a bunch of fucking idiots. And a lot of it has to do with that. We elected this guy. Oh, you all did. But we did it collectively, and that's the point. We can't. If you didn't vote for him, you shouldn't say you elected this guy. You shouldn't do that. That's the problem. People feel like they're being blamed. Nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody wants to be blamed for the way this douchebag ran in the country just because they didn't know how to fucking vote and they didn't know anything about politics. Nobody wants to feel that way. So therefore, why would you act like that? Don't treat people that way. This is the problem. People get into politics and they don't know how to treat each other. And it just starts becoming a fucking argument. Instead of actually constructively, intelligently talking about something having to do with politics. Instead, it's literally just a shouting match. And people just start insulting each other. Oh, if you like this guy, you don't get it, or blah, blah, blah. Yet what? It? Explain what it is then. Stop being a dumbass. Actually back up your candidate. And people really don't know how to do that. That was the problem. Especially with the candidate like Trump, because he's being voted for because he's not the politician. So these people have no fucking clue what they're talking about. They're voting for him because he's not the politician. They don't know shit about politics. So they like him because they actually understand what he says for once. But the problem is what he's saying is nonsense because he doesn't know what he's doing either. Do you realize that guy was illiterate until he became president? He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's somebody that didn't even have to read. Yeah, he'd go to bed at night and he's such a billionaire he'd have somebody reading to him. He had a butler. Like, like somebody that literally has no fucking clue how the world works, and you elected this guy. So this is the problem. See, I do it too. We elected this guy. This is the problem. This is the disconnect. Can't do this. We elected him. We should deal with the problem. The rest of the world does not like our decision, and that's the problem. Is that we do really, I mean, to think that we don't need the rest of the world, you have some sort of power trip complexion issue with you. If you think that you live in America and you're better than the rest of the world, and you're one of those people that just, you drive a big truck and America this and wield your American flag and blah, 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 you're part of the problem. You're not doing anything except looking like a loud asshole. And it's usually the people in the giant trucks swerving back and forth, illegally passing me and stuff. They got a gigantic Trump sticker on the back of their fucking truck. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that the people that voted for this guy are just uneducated. They have no fucking clue what it takes to run a country. They don't know what business is. They don't know what a desk looks like. They've literally just, I don't know, they fucking grew up on farms, or they grew up hunting and shooting, and that's how they'd say it too, hunting, not hunting. So, like, I'm not trying to be insulting, but this is how you guys shouldn't take this. This is the problem. Everyone takes it as an insult. Take it as do fucking better. This is the disconnect. There's so fucking many people in this country uneducated. And why? Gee, maybe the public school system that doesn't want to educate you on politics. Oh, just maybe we should teach this to our kids. Huh. Maybe it wasn't an eye-opener when I was in economics class and I asked my teacher what president he liked, and he said, I really can't talk about that. Maybe that should have been an eye-opener. The fact that we're not being educated on the most fucking important thing in our country, how to vote. We are not being educated in the public school system on how voting works, on how the politics works, on how gross domestic product works, and how the president has literally nothing to fucking do with that, or the gas prices. Like, this is the problem. Nobody fucking knows. They see gas prices go up and they slap a sticker on it because they're angry at a certain president. It wasn't Trump and it wasn't Biden. You fucking idiots. We import fucking oil from Russia, morons. You fucking stupid. This is my point. See, I get there too. Everybody else that's educated feels like this. They just look at everybody else like, you're a fucking idiot. This is really the way you think? Go read a damn book. Jesus. This is the point. We sit here, those of us who are actually educated, that have sat here and researched things and looked them up, we sit here and we look at you when you give these simple fucking responses to things and have absolutely do-nothing answers to things, and you just want to have a debate, and you think you won the debate by just being louder than the other person. You think that's what a debate is. You're a fucking moron then. You've literally learned nothing about life, and you shouldn't ever vote. In fact, there should be a test to make sure that you're smart enough to vote, because I am literally sick and tired of the decay and uneducated people of this country deciding things for me. Because you all have no fucking clue what you're deciding. You have no fucking clue. Ridiculous. And that's just it. Like, I don't ever want to get into politics because of this. Nobody knows what they're talking about. Literally no one. Unless you're actually educated. You have political science, blah, blah, blah. And then at the same time, you have those people then pulling up some fucking article from this mainstream media source, from this one journalist that feels this type of way about this president, and they're pulling up that line that has like an opinion in it and showing me that, and it's like, really? Really? Yeah, I can throw opinions out there too, but it's not fact. And it's like literally, it's like the moment he said alternative facts. It's like the moment he said that, and y'all didn't go, wow, how that wasn't the end of it, I have no fucking clue. Like, the fact that you didn't get it through to your head that he's literally just creating a scenario where he can lie to you about everything. Alternative fact. There's no alternative to a fact. A fact is a fact, you dumbasses. Alternative facts. This is the disconnect. Trolls exist, and it's gotten worse because of this guy. This is your example. And you think that the fucking impatient asshole that pushes world leaders out of the way, which, by the way, if he wasn't the president, he would have been arrested for and put in prison, but pushes world leaders out of the way to stand in front and look all proper in a picture because he had to stand in the front. This is the fucking asshole that people elected. Yeah, like, this motherfucker can't just politely say, excuse me, I'd like to be in front. He has to push people out of the way. Oh, and then he fixes his suit. Does anybody ever actually, like, watch these things, or do they just catch the edits on Fox that they clip together and show you later? Yeah, a bunch of, like, just literally look at the stuff. And no, I'm not some big Democrat person, blah, 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 because that's what people want to make it. Nope. Not even farthest from the truth that it could be. I hold them accountable too. Because we all know, flat out, for the longest time, they've been talking all over your heads on purpose so that you don't know what they're saying. Just bring it down. Just bring it down. Talk on our level. Be personable. You do not see what a president does while they're president. I've got news for you. You really don't. It takes longer. So a lot of the people that are like, like slapping stickers on like gas, like, it's just so fucking immature. It's destruction of property is literally what it is. You're literally just putting a sticker on a gas pump and you can get cited for that, by the way. I took a picture of the one time and posted it on something, and then got several police to agree with me that, yeah, you can get cited for that. Yeah, you just don't do it. Like, it's immature. So this is my point, is in this country, we destroy things instead of trying to make a point intelligently. That's what this entire country is. And I think it's funny how the entire time, everybody who's been listening to this, nobody's been in here agreeing with me, because everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, that's just it. Like, they're all waiting for me to be like, oh, he's just gonna tell us he likes Joe Biden or something like that. We're waiting for that. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it. It's not gonna happen. Because you shouldn't have to know what my opinion is to form your own. Does that make sense? I feel like so many people try to form their own opinion just to be counter, just to be an argument. A lot of you seem to think that, like a lot of people don't understand what the president does on a day-to-day, and I would highly recommend that a lot of you just sort of look that up. Just research what the president of the United States actually does in their day-to-day job, and you will learn a lot more. Yeah, a lot of you probably have just never done that. You just look at this article, you never actually look up what a president does for their fucking job. A lot of times, nothing. Yeah, they sign papers. This person hires people. So you're electing a CEO. He's not running anything. He's a CEO. His people are running things. So when you elect the guy who's always been a con artist, who's always been a criminal, guess what he's gonna fucking do? He's gonna call up all his criminal buddies to run our government. That's what Trump did. Anybody that defends that, well, you're getting blocked because there's no defense there. He's literally, like, his entire administration's basically been charged. So, and it's ridiculous at this point. You compare it to almost any other literally any other administration. The only other one that gets even close is Nixon. So, like, it's ridiculous. So, and we're not talking about I like this person or I like that person. We're just talking about people. I actually liked him until he became president. Yeah, and then he started talking. I see a huge interest that people have in, just watching people pick on other people and be funny at, like making fun of them or something like that. And that was what a lot of people, I think, did with him. They just thought he was funny. He made fun of other politicians. So therefore they liked him. He was just disliked him. That's it. That's a stupid fucking reason to vote for somebody. And, of course that's not the reason they give. The reason they give is another do-nothing answer. That's, it's like, oh, he wasn't the politician, he was the businessman, blah, blah, blah. Well, except he did the opposite of what you would do as a businessman. He spent more money than we had. I mean, just look at I'm just telling you facts. He spent more money than we had. He hired criminals. Took money out of the military to spend it on various things that was actually sort of unconstitutional, but I'm not going to get into that. But the whole voter fraud thing, that was an eye-opener. He called the person in Georgia and asked them to stop counting votes. What? What? Yeah, like the active president of the United States during the election called down there and asked them to stop counting votes. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what media to go to, what to look at to get actual accurate information, that's what really happened. This is people's problem. They just think that's too funny, and they like people like this. They like people that destroy, and that's a shame. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like evil, and I don't like people that destroy, and I don't like hearing that somebody called to a state to tell them to stop counting votes. I want to know what they are. But regardless, even if it's Trump, do you guys hear what I'm saying? Even if it's him, I want to hear it. I want the people who actually voted, I want their vote to count. That fucking matters. You do it the right way. You don't call somebody and ask them to stop. That's a criminal that does that. That's somebody that wants to make a deal. You don't fucking do that. He's a criminal. Donald Trump is a criminal. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think people like Michael Does Life a lot of the rest of the time because he is just Trump, basically. He sort of just gets on there and shits on everything having to do with games. Just sort of like Trump to just shit on politics left and right. The funny thing is, one of the worst things Trump ever did was trying to convince everybody that the Trans-Pacific Partnership was a bad deal. He's like, it's the worst deal. The worst deal. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't. He was trying to do that because it was bad for him. No, it was good. That, holy shit, was good. Yeah, you guys really got fucked by Donald Trump. Yeah, the entire world got fucked by Donald Trump. And you're just all sitting here laughing about it and think it's funny. It's really not. This fucking guy gets to be born rich, gets to grow up illiterate, have people read to him, then gets to become fucking president, and then you all vote for him, and then he becomes a criminal, and you still fucking show up for him? What? This guy cheats his entire life, and you're just there for it? The fuck? Meanwhile, here I am sitting in the back getting shit on my entire fucking life. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm the exact opposite. Every fucking opportunity I've ever had ripped from me because of some random fucking thing occurrence. You know? Or something like that. Donald Trump fucked the United States of America, and you're all just there for it. So I'm thinking about doing podcasts. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Yeah. And I don't look at one thing, guys. I look at everything. I don't just look at a mainstream media. I look at everything. I compare it all. I look at facts. I look at .orgs. I look at basically what's the collective decided report that's common among all of these, and then we come up with an answer. We don't look at Fox News and say, oh yeah, let's believe everything they say. We don't look at CNN and say, let's believe everything they say. We don't look at ABC and let's believe everything they say. They don't look at the Washington Post and say, let's believe everything they say. The reason for this, and I want to make a podcast about this too, so this is maybe a little bit of a precursor. The reason I wanted to get into this is because basically just people don't know. A journalist is just a journalist. They don't have to report anything, guys. So like when you're watching these shows like Fox and Friends, that is quite possibly the worst steaming pile of bullshit nonsense ever fed to an American on a media outlet. It's literally just a bunch of people that only like, very, very Republican views, getting on there and talking about it, and then lying when certain things happen that would go contrary to what they initially said. So then they lie just to back up that is just horrible. And then people are like, oh, it's the news. How they're not lying. Yes, they are. They're journalists. They can do it. It's not Fox News. It's Fox and Friends. Do you get it? It's the FCC can't do anything. They're not lying about news. They're lying. They're just journalists reporting what they think. Yep. That's why I respect more journalists that are far more like center of the road, that like Philip DeFranco. Watch his channel. Philip DeFranco is one of the few people over the years that stayed fairly center of the road. Now, let's be honest, he didn't eventually, but it's the sort of thing where he tried so hard for so long, and I respect him so much for it, and eventually he had to call it quits with Trump. Yeah, it's literally everyone. It's everyone. It's even me. Like that's the point. It's everyone. And that's the point I want to make to you guys, is Donald Trump is literally blacklisted even by ex-presidents. Everybody talks. Bush, Clinton, Obama, like even the Republican past presidents talk to the Democrats. They get along. These are respectful businessmen that led the country, and now they're retired. They all get along, laugh, and have a good time. They don't with Trump. Yeah, they don't with Trump. Literally none of them. Nobody wants anything to do with Trump. That should tell you something. It really should. In their own time. We're not talking about on camera, just talking all their own time. You can look this stuff up. Just look it up. You just see evidence of like Obama hanging out with Bush, Obama hanging out with Bush Jr., Obama hanging out with this person, Joe Biden hanging out with this person. Obama himself was very, very good friends with like the Bush Senior family, like very good friends with them. They all got along. Like, that's the point. People can move on. Mature adults can move on and move past these things and just be adults. Donald Trump is a fucking child, and no, he cannot move on. He will literally defend his own guiltiness into fucking forever. The dude literally can't not lie. Just saying. He can't not lie. He cannot. He has actually gotten himself in trouble lying about things that we know are fact. This is the point. You can't just lie in a court setting. It's just... This is the point, guys. I digress. We're going to talk Starfield a bit. I'm going to get back and talk Starfield. I know this was supposed to be Starfield talk. Ended up being something else. I'll change the title. Starfield, though, let's talk a little bit. I do want to talk a little bit. I feel bad. Oh shit! I was supposed to get off there. Damn it! I think my exit's like 5 miles. All right, now let's talk. Yeah, now we got time. Shit. So, let's talk Starfield, we put the resource monitor open. It's underperforming. Even on Xbox, it's capped at 30. There's no FPS counter in the menu. There's all kinds of things where it's like, who lied about this? Yeah, like, who was saying this, you know? So I want to look it up. I want to find out more about Starfield. I want to find out who lied. the unlocked FPS, because that was a lie. It's not in there. Cannot set the FPS. It's not unlocked. It's a lie. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play around with it. Yeah, we're gonna try to play around with it. I think what might happen is we turn off or something like that, and it tricks it. Almost like there's no setting, and there should be. So like there should be a triple buffering setting, something like that, where it's getting those higher refresh rates, and there's just not. There's just nothing in there. Because like VSync and stuff, that's your refresh rate, which works with FPS too. So like I use VSync a lot because I get tearing regardless. I have G-Sync built into my monitor, but just nobody supports it anymore. It's a dead. VSync took over, which is what happened with my Bluetooth. I have Bluetooth built into my motherboard, can't use it. Yeah, it's garbage. They stopped support on it, so basically every time I use it, the controller just connects and disconnects constantly. So that's why I have to plug in a controller. I know for the people who like Are we live? Guys, we're near the 5G area. My goal isn't, to make the Trump voters, Trump people uncomfortable. That's not my goal, guys. My goal is to try to get it across to you guys why he's bad, and that you defend that it's a cult following. That no matter what he does, you'll follow what he says or does, and that's dangerous. It's not good. You should never ever have a cult following, especially with politics. You should be willing to say this person was not a good candidate. Let's move on. Does that make sense? If I thought that about Obama, I would have said the same thing. Does that make sense? I thought he was one of the most honest, ones that we had. That literally his entire, there's literally just relatively no scandals or anything like that. Just relatively none. And so that's just it. It was like when you compare somebody who arguably could have been the best to like literally the worst right after each other, of course you're going to have an entire country of people that are just yelling at each other and angry, because that's what that breeds. It's literally two sides of the equation really angry at the other side. The crazy thing is, I find it very frustrating that people are angry that Obama was good. That's just it. It's like they're angry he was a good president just because he was a Democrat. So it's like they treat this like a damn sports team. That's how people vote. They treat it like a damn sports team. It's like, you don't understand what Obama did? Are you fucking kidding me? If you don't understand what he did, that's a shame, because a lot of, literally every person that's in this country right now benefits from it. And is benefiting from it, and will benefit from it. Your kids are the real ones that benefit from this. And you should be thanking him every fucking day for fighting that shit. That's right, the Affordable Care Act. He actually passed universal health care. It's like, you're talking about something all these other presidents couldn't do, and he did it. His administration did it. That's what pisses people off. They know it. That they don't want to draw attention to that, so they just talk about the other things. It's a fucking sports team. So instead of admitting you're wrong, instead of literally just admitting you're wrong about something, yeah, just admit you're fucking wrong. Just admit you were wrong about Obama, and literally just accept that and move on, and accept that you want more people like that. it's terrible. It really is. The fact that like this whole culture came out of just the fact that people hate him. That's what a lot of what it came from. And I'm not saying, like, I don't want to bring up the race card, but I know that's what a lot of people think. So, like, a lot of other countries, I've heard this in, like, interviews, people, like, some content creators, like, walk down the street in other countries, hold a mic up to somebody, ask them what they think and stuff like that. I'm not joking you. New Zealand thinks we're racist. Yeah, New Zealand, France, yeah, like, there's so many countries that just think we're racist. So you kind of have to realize that in other countries where they're more educated, they might know better than you, and they've been around longer, they've been countries longer than us. So yeah, you don't think that you don't want to learn a little thing or two from that? This guy's like looking at my screen. He's creeping up looking at my screen. His lane stops there, and he stopped back here. He was like, it was funny. It's cool. I don't really care. I just thought it was funny. He like didn't even pull up. So anyway, guys, I do want to do some podcasts for this because I can just talk endlessly about things that I know plenty about and things that I've researched. But I think that a lot of it comes down to the fact that when you offer new information to somebody, there's that psychological response in the brain. I forget what it's called. This is a real thing, and I want to talk about this. I want to bring this up to maybe the podcast where we talk about this. The psychological thing in your brain that if you feel like you know something, and you've defended it, and it's like you've got like that emotion attached to it, the anxiety and stuff, you will actually feel like this. You're more right about this when somebody gives you information counter to what you already think. If they give you new information that's different than what you know, you're actually more likely to resist that information now just because you've known this other information for so long. So it gets worse the longer we go. So now that we have a new election coming up and stuff, it's only going to get worse, guys, and we really have to get ahead of this thing. Just talking to people about it and being respectful. I think that's really important. I think that's just, like a lot of what it was is a lot of the people that were really disrespectful to folks that are just not as smart as maybe, somebody that can read through an entire article without losing their focus. And knows what all these big words are in politics and stuff, and knows how to research, and then knows how the government works then at the same time to know what any of that means. So all these folks that vote in this country claim to be experts. Oh, I know this or that, and really all they're doing is watching Fox and Friends at night or whatever they're watching and claiming to be experts, and they look something up at various times. That's really all they do. I truthfully have spent hours. I'm somebody that will literally look something up just to make sure I'm in the right, to make sure I have my right information. I've truthfully spent hours upon hours over the years looking things up and stuff like that. Having various debates with people over the years. And believe it or not, changing my opinion after looking things up and learning new things. Now, a lot of the time, I didn't change what my actual view was. I just changed my opinion about a certain person because of this or that. My original view stayed the same. My heart was in the right place, if that makes sense. I always made sure to go into this saying, all right, let me not angrily read this. Let me read this as I'm learning. Let me not go into this thinking, oh, Trump's a bad guy or Obama's a bad guy. Let me just read this and read it for what it is. This is what nobody does. People look something up angry and they read it, and then they're sitting there trying to dissect and try to find like any type of little thing that they can find that's wrong about it. They do this with the Bible. They're going to do it with politics. So this is how people are. They take things that they like instead of the actual information. You can't do this with facts. You can't do this with politics. You have to accept the fact it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just... you can't treat it like a sports team. You really can't. You can't vote for Republican because they're red. Can't do that. You can't vote for Trump because he's funny. You should not vote for him because he was a criminal, because he grew up rich. He didn't get it. Oh, Obama grew up rich. No, he didn't. Rich compared to you. I'm talking billionaire rich. Yeah, it's different. It is, it's different. I love you guys so much. I appreciate everybody who came in. All the likes. We're going to talk Starfield. I want to play it. I really want to. I want to play around with it. I want to talk it. I want to talk about where this info from the unlocked FPS came from. Because that didn't happen. In our day one patch, it did. Guess what? I was playing it that whole time. The day one patch was the reason that the game didn't work initially on the first day, and I had to reinstall it. Yeah, that was not true either. It was just down for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I had to reinstall. That wasn't true though. I didn't actually have to reinstall. The day one patch threw things down for a few minutes, and I just thought I had to reinstall. So, our day one patch has been in there. No unlocked FPS, no DLSS, and you guys sell it 30 FPS in most places. And while it looks really good, and my computer is running it pretty good, the funny thing is, it actually sort of does seem to have optimization issues, because even when we quit the game, the encoder can't really function properly. Windows seems to think, even though the game isn't running in the background, Windows can't properly assign GPU load after quitting the game. So basically the game draws too much, and Windows after quitting the game is confused and gives XSplit too much. Now I think this is actually because XSplit itself draws too much initially. Because Windows has things built into it for that. But we're going to play with it. We're going to play Starfield. And thank you guys for listening to me rant about politics. I don't normally do that. But as you can see, I'm pretty center of the road. I really don't like a lot of them. And I'm here to see people learn. And just learn about politics and learn about what you should and shouldn't do. And I want to help you guys with that if I can. Because I just think that there's a lot of folks out there that really don't know how to look things up and don't know what sources to trust and don't know how to feel about things. Secretly. If I'm being honest, I think it's secret. I think a lot of people want to feel like they aren't stupid. But now if they come out and say, oh yeah, I don't like Trump or this or that, every single person that ever gave him a hard time is now going to hate them. And they'll give him a hard time forever. This is the problem. This is what people fear. They actually have this anxiety. They're afraid to come out and say, yeah, I voted for Trump and he was wrong, blah, blah, blah. they don't want to admit to that, because then they're admitting, oh, no regrets, blah, blah, blah. And they're admitting that they did something, they had a contributing factor in this. You're not, guys. That's not what this is about. If you admit to that, all you're doing is finally admitting to yourself that you can do better. Until you do that, you will continue the same rut of redundant bad decisions. And you'll do it with other things too. You won't just do it with politics. You'll be as stubborn with other shit too. And you'll think you'll know everything. And when somebody comes along with pieces of information that could help you in life, you'll resist them and break off connections with these people just because you didn't learn something. I've seen it so many times, and trolls like this too, where they can cause an argument between people. They love that. Ignorance is power. It is. Don't let that. That's partially why I've been listening to that song so much. That more recent Disturbed song. Be somebody that people can't prey on. Be smarter. Make decisions that would tell some terrible person that I'm smarter than that. You can't. That's what I've sort of decided for myself too. Moving forward, I've just made those decisions, and that's why a lot of times I can say what I can say, and from my position, because I've made those decisions already. And so anyway, we're gonna get home. Do you guys like these? If you guys like these, I'll do them a little bit more. I do like to get together with you guys, but I don't do them all the time because I really just want to get home and get on stream. But I feel like when I'm out and moving around and doing stuff, I'm not dealing with the problems, that I have on my, XSplit or, Windows or, one of them 5 million other big ass companies that isn't caring about the problems that they have too. Because that's where we are. We have, it's just like you guys deal with that too. I mean, they're people too. They have jobs too, and they do that too, and they get into those jobs and feel the same way as you guys, where they don't know what to do and know how to handle the situation. And that's what a lot of this issue we're dealing with now, is that we have a really, really huge number of people in this country that are very ignorant, uneducated. And you need to go to college. A public school system. And I've got news for you. Donald Trump did put a pretty bad person in charge of our education. Betsy DeVos, or whatever her name is. Her only qualification was that her husband was a billionaire. Yeah. I don't really know what her qualification was to be Secretary of Education, but she dumbed down our education even further. And you can look this up too. Like, there was something she did. And she also tried to basically within the first month that she was in the education office. So if you guys remember the things that the Obama administration was doing to try to forgive college debt and stuff like that, being somebody that didn't finish, I was looking into that because I got talked into it. I felt like I got talked into it. I felt like I never really even wanted to do it. And then once I did it, I realized just how corrupt our billing system is for medical here in the United States, and I wanted no part of that. So I dropped out, and it's the sort of thing where the moment she was the head of the secretary, the education department of the United States, I got an official letter in the mail, like a month later. After she went into her office and he was in office, I got an official letter in the mail a month later. Not even, probably. And it basically indicated to me that I was going to pay in full, that the stuff was going to go away, there was no forgiveness, it was going to pay in full, and it was going to have to start soon. So basically, they dumbed down the education and wanted money. They just wanted money. Well, that's all it was. They just wanted money. That's pretty terrible. They don't need money. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. So, like, that's my point, is we have a lot of people that are in debt right now in this country just because they're uneducated and they had to go to college. That's terrible. I mean, think about how many people go straight from high school and can just make it because they're smart and they're entrepreneurs. I started a business. I started a couple. A few didn't pan out. One did. Obviously, I owned a martial arts school. Yeah. Rent got too high. People cut that shit out of their budget. They have bills. I have bills. Had to close up shop. Now I move on. And, you know, that's just it, is we have too many people in this country. This country is built on the backs of, like I said, soldiers, but also entrepreneurs. People that started businesses, started mills, you know, ran trade routes and stuff like that. Rode horse and buggy wagons, you know, to transport goods for people. You know, it's built on the backs of those people. And if we don't have enough people doing this again, where everybody just wants to sit at home and be a content creator because they're uneducated and they don't really know what to do with their lives, that's a problem. Anyway, I gotta go if I'm gonna get home. It's late. As you can see, the sun's going down. I don't know where the fuck the rain was. I really wanted the rain because I gotta tell you, it's humid right now. I can start to feel it a little bit. It's only 73 degrees and it's very humid. So I was really hoping for the rain, but it did not happen. Maybe we'll go live again on the way back. I gotta go inside now for a few, and then I'll be back, you guys. Do we want to go live again? Do you guys want to talk Starfield, or should I just get home? I feel like I should just get home. We'll see what happens. I want to do podcasts with you guys soon, though. Obviously, I can talk politics and stuff and things like that, so I'd love to do that with you guys. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much.